Okay. In my demo, I use my lead hand to move offline and strike. So when I punch, this hand's covering that gate because he throws something, I can cover it. And the demo that I saw, the person used the rear hand, which left this open for him to turn and hit. But even with that, if I did use the rear hand and he turns, I'm still going to cover it. Okay? So if I use the rear hand and he punches, I can do something else.
All right, if I use my rear hand, I can come in here. He says he can try and turn with that, which is fine. My rear hand is still here. So at this point, whether I swing to one side or I stay on the same side, doesn't matter if he tries to turn me. I mean, the whole concept behind what we do is not to fight force with force. The other aspect of which he didn't address is if he goes to turn, just pull his body and interrupt his balance as he's going to turn. He could basically, at this point, if he's trying to fight force with force, how can he turn his body against his pivot point? So from here, if he goes to step and turn, well, I just mirror with it and break his body balance anyhow. So from here, if I come in and I press this angle, anybody who understands anything about physics and principles in Wing Chun, rule number one, I don't care what family style you do, we never fight force with force. So that goes the whole thing. So now if he's talking about pushing, he's trying to match strength. But if you understand physics, if he tries to turn on this foot, how can he turn against his body? So he's fighting force with force. No matter what family member it is, even if I pivot on my heels and he turns with that, it still doesn't matter. Where's he going to turn? So I have my center facing his point of contact. So all I'm using is principles of breaking his balance. Now with this system that we use, if I come in and close on him, since we're going to mirror him, when he goes to turn, I go to turn. So I position myself the same way. And I get away from that. I force him to chase me. Versus if I allow him to turn and I stay in here and stay in the middle, what kind of sense does this make? Now, because most people don't practice realistic fighting, by trying to stay here, what are you going to set yourself up for? He's going to try and grapple you, take you to the ground, which makes absolutely no sense. So why would you want to stay in the middle when you fight, especially if you fight a larger opponent?